Poseidon, a Russian super torpedo capable of carrying nuclear warheads. The Kremlin has just tested it in the White Sea region of the Arctic, a range of 10,000 kilometers, underwater speed of 80 knots. This is supposed to make this weapon virtually unstoppable. This, in turn, is Burevestnik, a new Russian missile built exclusively for carrying nuclear warheads. The Kremlin presented the tests in a broadcast straight out of North Korea.
We are just generally seeing a greater emphasis on nuclear weapons. We're seeing countries use nuclear threats more and more to get their way in the world. And so while I think a lot of these programs have existed for years, if not decades,
that message is a return to the rhetoric used by the Soviet Union during the height of the Cold War, keeping opponents in uncertainty and threatening with chaos. The problem is that Washington knows the rules of this game very well and is raising the stakes.
It had to do with others. They seem to all be nuclear testing. We have more nuclear weapons than anybody. We don't do testing. We've halted it many years ago. But with others doing testing, I think it's appropriate that we do also.
Both Moscow and Beijing have stated that they are not conducting any tests, and testing platforms for carrying warheads is not a bad thing. However, Donald Trump pointed to these two countries without a doubt. Now his revelations are being confirmed by the most important people in American intelligence. Donald Trump is right. The head of the CIA, followed by the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee, reported that both the Kremlin and Beijing are conducting underground tests in a manner that prevents detection by the International Monitoring System for Nuclear Activity. Official evidence is said to be in the possession of the Military Intelligence Department and to justify the need for a significant change in America's nuclear doctrine. However, experts warn that this could trigger a chain reaction.
A lot of Chinese experts and officials have pointed out that China might be at a disadvantage in terms of knowledge of its arsenal and weapons designs because it just doesn't have as much testing data. And so if the taboo against nuclear testing was broken, if there was a return to more nuclear tests, China stands to gain way more from this than the United States would.
Hence, it is rather unlikely that the Americans would openly start testing, thus giving the green light to the start of an official nuclear arms race. However, they will certainly want to respond to their opponents' provocative displays so that no one has any doubts about whether the U.S. still has deterrent capabilities.